Let me tell you right now, I'm so glad all of you are here with me tonight. And I've got a special audience a lot of you don't even know about. I've got two audiences tonight. I have a Spanish-speaking audience, and I want to give a shout-out to our translator, Yarixa Oaks. Wherever you are right now, give her a hand. Like, even if you don't even speak Spanish, she's amazing. I met her, first time ever. She smiles a lot. She has a nice sweater. Get to meet her. She's great. Now, I guess if you didn't like my voice, you could just go to the Spanish page and listen to her. But I still think I have a lot to offer. Hey, let's get this party started. By the way, I want to thank Chris Fuller. He's in the studio with me right now. Came all the way up from Banks County. That's another place in Georgia. And by the way, we have people from all around. Is that correct, B? And I tell you what, if I sound a little different with speed, like, well, Brian, he usually talks a little bit faster. I'm thinking about my wonderful translator because sometimes I get a little too excited. So I'll have to slow down a little bit, but we're going to have a wonderful show. We've got about an hour here and lots to do, lots to learn. B, what are some places people are from? I'm curious. Gainesville. Blue Ridge. What's up? Any Alaska people here? I had a couple Alaska people reach out to me. Valdosta? That's exciting. That's exciting. Hey guys, so I want to thank all the schools who made it possible, who advertised today's event. I do need to give some more thank yous before we get started. Big thanks to Pioneer Yarixa and our 15-member school systems. They're the ones who support me, the work that I do, and I enjoy working with parents. Most days I get to work with teachers. But I'm a parent too, and let me tell you, it's a crazy world we live in, and I want to give you some ideas. I want to thank our sponsor too. By the way, did I tell you I was going to give away some stuff? I hope Adam Yates is watching this. Adam Yates, he and his wife, others, they work at this wonderful place called Niswonger. I think I pronounced it correctly. And Adam said, Brian, I'm going to give away some Amazon gift cards. So I'm going to give away 8 $25 Amazon gift cards today, tonight. So be ready for that. I'm going to give away one right now. Is that okay? I want to give away something. Okay, let's do this. So I want to give away, this is what I want to know. I want you guys, I want this to be interactive. I want you to ask questions throughout the show. My lovely person over here, B. Fain, she says, give her the questions. She's going to give them to me. I want to know, what's your favorite type of cheese? Let's start easy, because we're about to get into some juicy stuff. So your favorite type of cheese, put it in there, and then I'm going to pick one, and then that person will get the gift card, maybe a couple people. Very random, but if you know anything about me, it's the random that keeps me going. So I got time. Put the cheese in there. What's your favorite type of cheese? Come on. All right, B, I'm going to tell you a couple here in a second. Edible cheese? Goat cheese. I think we're about to go. Wait, 10 more seconds. Put it in there. All right, here it is. Here it is. You ready? Anybody say Swiss, B? Any Swiss fans? No Swiss?
Oh.
What about queso dip? Those are my favorite types.
Ruby just said queso fresque.
Oh, I think that's it. So Ruby, your job is to contact me, and B, write her name down for me somewhere and I post it there. So Ruby, you're going to get a $25 Amazon gift card just because you love cheese. Who's ever won a gift card by just loving cheese? That's great. I'll only pick one more here. Colby Jack? Any Colby Jack there? I promise you, we're going to talk about cyber safety here.
I said Swiss, Sandra said.
Who said Swiss?
Sandra.
I don't know if I trust Sandra. Maybe I should. Let's trust Sandra. She said Swiss. I guess she said it out loud in her car. Didn't type it. Sandra, make sure you get with me after the show. I'll get with you maybe. You want to get with me probably because we got to get started. So, hey guys, thanks so much for being here. I hope you're in your PJs. we did this event at 8:30 at night, just not because I'm crazy, but because I wanted parents, especially those with littles, to be able to put those babies in bed and cuddle around the fire or around the macaroni and cheese, wherever you are, and learn with me and maybe not be as distracted. So I hope you're here with me today. You got some time to learn with me. Let's keep going. This is what I want you to do right now. This is so important. Number one, I want you to take a moment and just share this event right now. People need this. People need this bad. We're talking about phone management. We're talking about digital citizenship. How do we live with digital devices? Gaming. Pew, 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 pew. Like, how does that work as a parent? How do we help our students, our children, manage their gaming habits? And then I'm going to give you some tips on privacy and security. So thank you for sharing this live event. Here's another thing. This will be recorded. If you do have to leave, I totally understand. When this is done, you'll be able to watch it on the Facebook page. The other thing is participate in the chat. I'm looking at B over there. She's smiling. She's having fun. And I think you guys have got this figured out. You're participating in the chat. If I have a boogie, please tell B. She'll let me know. And I'm going to answer questions at 15-minute breaks. So if you got a couple questions in for B, she'll get those to me, and I'll do my very best. So try to stump the chump. Maybe get some good, juicy questions for me. Try to stump me. I'll try to get those answered. Number one, digital citizenship. What does that even mean, Brian? We're talking about teaching our children how to live online. So as parents, let's get real here. We spend a lot of time teaching our children how to live in the physical realm, in the physical space. Yes, ma'am. Depends if you're in the South or not. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Have some good manners. Wash your hands. Right? But online, maybe we just assume that the children know their way. And that they'll just figure it out. But unfortunately, that is the cause of all bad things happening online with children. And that is, I just feel like as adults, me too, we just didn't have a good game plan when all this stuff came out. Online gaming, who was prepared for that? Like, your child, you were playing Mario back in the day. You're like, Brian, video games are safe. I think video games can be safe. But parents need to know how it works, how networking works with the video games, how to keep our children safe with the settings. I'm going to tell you a story right now. You ready? And we could talk about digital citizenship all day. My teacher friends who are watching this are going to love this story. They may not love it. They may be really saddened. But it's a reminder that everything we post as adults or as students is here forever. Regardless if we delete it, there's always a chance that someone has screenshotted that image, or it's on a server somewhere. So you ready for the story? This just happened a couple weeks ago, guys. I got Chris right here. I got B back here. Yarixa, she's an educator. She's going to get something out of this. I was looking online for some help when it came to elementary school virtual education. I don't know all things. I need help. And I found this wonderful teacher on YouTube, and she was exciting. She had all the prompts. She had puppets. She had all the things. And I'm like, this lady is the pinnacle of K-5 virtual education. And so I did a little more research, and then I found out that there was this article, and it said, so-and-so, drama, 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 did you see what she did? And I was like, oh, snap. What did this woman do? Well, She did it in college 10 years ago. Are y'all listening to me right now? Hope I'm getting an amen wherever you are, on your couch. And what's those chairs called? They're like a big circle, like they're like 80s style. Maybe you're in one of those, a port swing, wherever you are, maybe in your jacuzzi. Listen, this woman right here in college 10 years ago, this comes to Connor. She was at some kind of social event and made a racially insensitive motion with her hands, with her eyes, depicting Asian culture, Asian facial features. And you can kind of see in this picture exactly what's going on. And then she made a comment below trying to, I guess, duplicate the dialect in her special way. So this rock star educator from something 10 years ago was let go by the people she was working with. And that's a reminder for you, for my adult audience. Hopefully you're getting something out of this, not just for your students. So we're going to talk more about students here in a second. But we have to have real chats with our kids about the things that we post online. And I know we mention it sometimes, but it has to be over and over and over again. Think about how many times you have to tell your children to do the dishes, or to say yes ma'am, or all those other things you have to tell them to do in face-to-face worlds. Just as important. It really is. And there's numerous stories of athletes, musicians, regular old people who have had things come back to haunt them. Our world is changing, and some of those old views are not accepted anymore. We're talking about sexism online. We're talking about racism online. Just being insensitive to other cultures. And this wouldn't be a true cyber safety talk about kids if we didn't talk about nude photos. Like, I remember when we did the first cyber safety event, nude photos had its own section. Like, it was so new. People are like, what is this mysterious thing that the kids are doing? Well, now it's not mysterious anymore. It's kind of lost some of its luster. And now it's just, I'm afraid it's kind of common. Don't let it be, Brian. Don't let it be. We have to have really good conversations with our sons, our daughters, about the dangers of sharing nude photography. Not just the dangers of it getting out in the wrong hands, but just the social, emotional baggage that comes with it. I mean, I could give many examples of schools who are, we had a school in Georgia where I think like the football players were keeping like all the nude photos of the girls in the school, and there was like a point system. Like if you had a nude photo of this child, you got so many points. And that is disheartening. Let's have those conversations with our kids. And that's going to be one of my tips at the very end. I'm going to say right now, we got to have hard conversations. Like weird conversations. Y'all want to get weird? We got to get weird. We got to get weird. The more uncomfortable, the better with our students. So let's talk about, we're still talking about digital citizenship. How are your children using tech? So when I talk about technology, I want y'all to know I love technology. And you're like, well, Brian, that's weird. You're talking about the cyber safety thing. It seems like you wouldn't like it because you know all the bad stuff about it. No, I think technology has played a huge role in what I do and how I deliver information and how I get to help people that I wouldn't normally get to help. Get to work with schools all across Georgia, Northeast Georgia, across the country, by Zoom. I get to do events like this, and we don't have a huge production budget at Pioneer Yarixa. But with some help with some friends, some basic equipment, we're able to put events like this on. So I think technology has a wonderful place in our world. But how are your children using tech? And by the way, get those questions in. Get them into B. If you got some, I think B's got a couple down there. She's thinking about them. I'm going to answer those right after this slide. Socially, Hey, 2020, gosh, we need some social. Can I get a what? Like, some people right now, actually, what we need to do, actually, this, I'm going to pause right now. I just feel like I need to say this right now. We're going to pause, 30 seconds. I want you to text somebody you have not texted or talked to in a while. We'll call this the cyber safety moment of silence. 30 seconds, reach out. Some people, they need you to talk to them right now. They're going through some stuff. 30 seconds, go ahead and do it. This is good. This is good digital citizenship. Go ahead. I'll text somebody. All right. Just how are you doing? Been thinking about you. Now, if you're married, be careful who you send messages like that to, okay? That gets you in trouble. All right. I got a shout out from my friend Chris Chastain. He's in Brooks County, South Georgia. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you and Stacy. So socially, students, that's part of their life. There's virtual socialism and there's like face-to-face social. And I don't think it's bad that students will be able to talk to one another online, but maybe how much of that is consuming their time? What about entertainment? Let me tell you right now, 2020, when I get home after this, it's going to be kind of late, I will probably sit down and be entertained by technology. I will probably go on Facebook. I'll probably check through some of the comments. And I think that's awesome. So social aspects of technology, entertainment, these are all good. But you know what my heart goes after when I talk about kids and technology, and I don't see enough of it? And I'm guessing a lot of you could say yes to this, what I'm about to say, is I don't see lots of students using technology in creative ways, perhaps other than like TikTok dance videos. Okay? Like, I can stand a good TikTok video every once in a while. But how are we using tech to make our community a better place? How are we using tech to change the world? How are we using tech to inspire? Like those conversations, like, well, Brian, this is weird. You're talking about cyber safety, but you want me to like get my kid to change the world with technology? No, I mean, this is part of the whole equation. There's all the bad stuff. But I think if we can, we're talking about Christmas coming up, so you're buying presents for your kids, but I think like video type equipment, teaching your kids how to make movies or how to maybe get a drawing tablet, how they can draw online. Those are great uses of technology. So all these things are fine. Let's get our kids to create more with tech. But how are your children using tech? I hate to say it, but kids online, they can be kind of nasty. Like a bully, when I was in middle school, you could see them, you could point them out in a second, and they're the kind of kids who look like bullies. They probably had like that denim jacket with the cutoff sleeves. You know the one? All right? Put kids in the trash cans. Now a bully hides behind a screen, and they're tormenting children all across the world, making them feel belittled. And as a parent, we have the duty to talk to our kids about, for one, you let me know if we got to have that relationship, communication. Let me know if someone's not treating you right online. You're like, well, Brian, my kid's never going to tell me that. You got to get there. You just don't get that out of nowhere. They have to trust you. The other thing is teaching our children, if you see something online, say something online. And they don't have to talk to the bully, but at least talk to the person who's being bullied. So let them know, hey, you're not alone. And I want to help any way I can. Just that, that's enough. That's enough. All right, we're going to take a couple questions. We're doing great on time. About 15 minutes in. B, what you got for me? B's going to thank you, B. Come on, she's wearing her cool Christmas shirt here.
I even have 2 sticky notes.
2 sticky notes. Oh my.
Susan Haynes.
Susan Haynes. Whoo. 2 sticky notes. Susan. All right, here we go. What are aspects of gaming, that may seem innocent, but actually have some more concerning, darker elements, especially with people trying to exploit children? Susan, I'm going to say this. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you all about it. Yes, there are people out there who have exploited children, who want to exploit children, but as parents, we do have a little bit of power. We have a little power, so I'm going to show you. Thank you so much, B, for giving that question to me. So, Susan, that's coming up. Let's keep moving on. Phone management. Now, this is the big one right here. So, let's go ahead and crank this up. You ready? My phone, when I started out, looked like a banana. It was a Nokia. It was kind of like a Zach Morris phone from Saved by the Bell, but it was a little more slimline. And my mama said, put it in the glove box. Use only in case of emergency. You were not sending a nude photo with this phone. You were playing Snake, and you were praying for a flat tire so you could call somebody. But the battery lasts forever because it didn't do anything. Phones now are a lot more complicated. It's almost like I feel like now kids just like expect to get a phone. Like, I probably could get people online to say, yep, Brian, that's exact. My kid, he said, give me the phone. And you're like, wait, am I supposed to? So parents have these questions. Do I have to give my child a phone? Is it like, are they weird if they don't have one? I mean, you're the parent. It's an awesome thing. You know, when you're the parent, you get to make some parent choices. But here's the big question everyone asks me every year. It's, when should my child have a phone? I'm glad you're here, especially those who are kind of in this area, the little ones, middle school maybe. I got a weird answer for you. Remember, weird is good. Your child should have a phone when you, as the parent, have the time to be heavily invested in that child and their phone. That's kind of a loaded answer, Brian. Some of you are looking for like a silver bullet on this one. You're like, Brian, tell me, like, was it 10? You know, coming out of the womb, do they need one? No. I think it's really all about parents and the time that you have to devote to helping your child be successful with the phone. Are you willing to say, hey, Billy, come over here. Let's look at that phone. Talk to me about the phone. Talk to me about the game. Talk to me about who you're talking to. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'm exhausted. 2020, I'm exhausted. We need rest in America. We need rest around the world. And I don't know how much more energy parents have. And that's why we get in some complicated areas here, because a lot of students are being left unchecked. And not like Big Brother, like, I'm going to check on you, like, I'm a bad parent, I'm just spying on you all day on your phone. I'm talking about just being very honest, open, communicating with your child about their phone. I'll give you another hint right here. Doing all that stuff, like communication and all that lovey-dovey, loving stuff, earlier the better. It gets a little more difficult as they get older, especially after you've had a phone for a while. I was talking to Chris here. Chris is helping produce the show. And he was like, he made the comment like, the phone, when the child gets a text, it almost like it gives them like adrenaline rush. When they get that text, it's like, ooh, like it's some satisfaction. And a lot of them are addicted to that. I mean, I know addiction's kind of a strong word for that, but a lot of them gives them a lot of satisfaction by getting that. So when should my child get a phone? When the parent is ready. Oh, so I did make a video for this, so we're going to watch a video because I want parents to know there are apps that are built in, like Android has one or Google has an app. iPhone has built-in parental guidance, parental settings. I'm going to show you about 3 minutes of really how this works, because I want you to know you could take an iPhone, you could take an Android phone, and you're like, Brian, I really just gave my phone to my kid for safety. Just for safety. I gave it to him. I want him to be safe. But you know what happened? Like the opposite of safety, like chaos and scary stuff happened. So if you're truly giving your child a phone for safety, there are settings to make that happen. So we're going to watch the video. Let's check it out. And on our Spanish broadcast, we'll have that translated as well.
For them. So this is how it works. Let's check it out. So you want to go to settings. And for one, your child has to have an Apple account. So you can Google that and go to YouTube, say how to set up an Apple account for my child, or you can go to even Apple. Hopefully Apple has some stuff to help you with this. By the way, this is like a $75 phone. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I bought off eBay. It's got like I bought a super cheap plan through Sprint. And it's made just for texting and calling. I turn these things off. So you go to settings, you get your child logged in. This is their phone. It's, say their name up there. It'll say their phone. And if you go down to screen time, this is where all the parent magic happens. So screen time, you click screen time. And here's where you could say, as a parent, you can choose what or whatnot your child can access. So I'm going to go first. Let's go to downtime. When do you want this thing to shut off, really? So for one, I got to put my code in. Parents have a special passcode. Your child has a code to actually access the phone. They need one because they need to be safe too. Like they need to learn privacy and security. But parents have a special passcode for this stuff. And I just made it easy one so you guys wouldn't know my real one. Sneaky little devils. So I just did a lot of ones there. And downtime means, Brian, when I set a time, when I set this time limit, that means during 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., the phone won't work. All right, that's downtime. Now you can change some things to actually say some things are always accessible. I'll let you know how to do that. So there's downtime. That's cool, right? You like that? App limits. App limits means how long you want the child to actually have access to an app. Like, what if you wanted them to be able to play Fortnite? I mean, that's up to you. You could say 1 minute every day. Well, they're going to love you for that. It takes like 5 minutes for that thing to even load. I've seen it, okay? And it says block at end of limit, so the app won't even work. Look at that setting right there. Look at this one. Block at end of limit. Woo! It's good stuff. Go back. Let's do always allowed. Now, these are the apps that even during downtime, they can still use. So, for instance, messages, FaceTime, maps, even during downtime, they can still access those. So you want them to call you and text you. Great. And the one that parents are mostly concerned about is this content privacy restrictions. They go here. I mean, there's tons of stuff in here. iTunes and App Store purchases. Don't allow installing apps. They can't delete apps. Don't allow in-app purchases. Always require a password. Okay? So that means the parent puts the apps on there and they can't, they're just stayed. Nobody can delete them or install another one. What's another one? Let's do allowed apps. So as you can see here, this thing right here, I don't even allow like Safari. This is a big one. So you're like, Brian, I don't want them to get on the internet. Well, just FaceTime's allowed. I turn off the camera. Again, this was not made. I'll give them I'll give your child another camera if you want. It's up to you. You turn these things on. Mail's off. Your child emailing? I don't know. Allowed apps. Let's do content restrictions.
All right.
Well, they can't really access iTunes anyways.
That's on YouTube. If you want to see that again, I want to apologize to my Spanish-speaking audience. Our translator did not get the audio feed, and that was my fault. All right, so this is one of my favorite parts of our cyber safety chat, and that is I'm going to do a live phone demo, maybe just show you one or two things, and then we'll probably have time for questions right here after this phone. Some people already mentioned some things with the phone. This is probably the biggest area that parents need the help with. Someone mentioned, I just talked to B, that, hey, Brian, the screen time parent things on Apple products, messes up when they update the phone. Yes. Again, that's a hassle. But as parents, again, if we're going to give our phones to our students, our children, and you want those protections in place, I hate to say it, but it requires a lot of time. It does. And just be willing, you have to be willing to do that. So I'm going to pull my phone up. I'm going to do a little buff magic here. Y'all get that buff magic? Come on, let's go. So let me pull this up. There we go. All right, and I do want to show, oh, that was me. And I do want to show the crew, okay? Hey, Chris, say hey, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Hey, it's good to have Chris here. Chris is making sure things work, and you guys hear wonderful things. This is B over here. She's moderating all the comments. Thanks, B. And we're spaced out. We're trying to be nice. But over here, we have a special lady. Let's see if she sees us. Hold on. Oh, let's sneak up on her. There she is. There's Yarixa. Okay. So, all right, back to me. Now let's talk about that. At least talk about one app. Okay, so again, when I did this in the past, we talked about social media a lot, and that's important. But let's talk about kids hiding stuff on phones. That's always a hot topic, right? Kids hiding stuff on phones. So, and I'm just going to show one example. And please, if you feel like you're like, well, Brian, I'm watching out for this one. They're not going to fool me again. They're hiding stuff on their phone. Don't forget all those other parental apps that help kind of, you don't have to deal with this. I'm out of breath already walking over there. Geez, let me slow down a little bit. So on the bottom right, I have a calculator app. Brian loves math. Always have, always will. But if I touch the calculator app, it does math. Mom's here, dad's here. They're like, son, you love math. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I do. But my calculator, if I put a secret code in and I hit the percentage sign, I'm taken into a secret world of all my photos that I don't want anyone to see. And I thought I had one of me. Where's it at? Hold on. You guys, I know y'all want to see a picture of me. No. Okay, that was fun. Okay, anyways, kids are putting pictures in places like this. But that was kind of a bummer. I had like a goofy picture in there for you. And so it looks just like a calculator. Bam, right there. I touch the button, it goes back. And so things like this are a place where students may hide, not maybe their homework necessarily. Remember when that was like a big thing, like cheating? It's still a big thing, I'm sure. But this is where the nude photos are going. Places like this. You got to have those chats. You got to have those talks. Do you know what is on your child's phone? All right, so we got to have that communication piece. I will say this about settings. I'm going to turn my phone off there and go back to my presentation. That's just a funny picture of me. But here's some good advice. So if you feel like your child is ready for social media, you're doing all the things, and you're like, because eventually, don't forget, like, even though I talk about this stuff, like eventually our kids have to leave our house. Now, some of you, your children are still with you. They're like 24. That's just the way life is right now. COVID times. You're taking care of your children. But we want to get them to independence as soon as possible. So we eventually got to get them to figure out how social media works, how to use it, how to do it in a safe way. As they're younger, we're talking about private accounts. Because let me tell you, there's creepy people where I live in my county, and there's creepy people where you live in your county. I got some head nodding here. People live in different places in the studio. Like, Brian, I've seen a creepy person before. Yeah. They're around. And you know what? On Instagram, for example, Instagram has a search feature. You can search by place. You can search by place, and if the child has a public account, the creeper can see all the things at that place. Here in Northeast Georgia, we have a lot of recreation. We have people swimming a lot in lakes. Some people are wearing more than others. Creepers are online, and they're searching about those places. And you can also go to recent in Instagram, recent, and you're looking at the most recent shots there. And so really it's not just sketchy that people can see your kids. If it's recent, that means the creeper would actually know your child was at that place that day. But I don't want to make it sound like that's our biggest worry, because it is not. So in the 80s, in the 1990s, that was the biggest worry. Creepy people in white vans are going to pick up our children and take them away. And that has happened to kids. But let me tell you right now, the creepers don't have white vans anymore. The creepers are in your child's pocket. Okay, we're going to pause for, that. Okay, the creepers are in your child's pocket, especially if they have public accounts. Those need to be private if you're going to allow that to happen. Depending on the communication with your child, who's to say your child doesn't have 4 different Instagram accounts? I'm just going to say, I have many talks with parents. Real talk, okay? We're going to have real talk with our kids. We met the crew. Let's talk about security and privacy. Actually, let's take some questions. B, we have any?
What is the name of the calculator app? How can I set my child's phone for it?
Y'all ready? I'm going to give you a tip right now. B, thank you so much. Y'all ready? You guys are going to start tipping me. I should put a tip jar on the Facebook. You ready? This is a good one. I want you to go to Google, and I want you to Google this: how to hide stuff from my mom. It's not complicated. That's what they're searching, and there's tons of information there. Just pretend like you're a child, and I know that's kind of a weird, creepy way. You don't want to think about your child in that way. But that's a way to find out how people are getting around things. It's just called calculator app or photo sharing hiding app. Good question, B. Thanks. We have any more right there? Okay. All right, let's talk about security and privacy. Now, a lot of this is for parents too. We're talking to our children about, making good decisions when they're on social media, about when should they get a phone, how to be a good person online, how to use technology in creative ways. But we have to talk. This is a good talk. This isn't just about what not to do. How do we let our kids know that, hey, we need to keep our accounts safe? We don't want people hacking in to our accounts. So let's talk about passphrases. So I've heard this from multiple security agencies, and they have said that passphrases work way better than passwords. I know a lot of people, they have one password to rule them all, and once it's been compromised, it's no good. Like, it gets out, everybody's got it, they log into everything. So this is what a passphrase is. A passphrase is something you can actually remember. So instead of, like, your grandchild's name, I have some grandmas watching, okay? Instead of just your grandchild's name, like Johnny, and then their birth date, 12/2/99, which there's bots out there, there's machines out there, software that cracks those passwords that hackers know how to use. They say that's much more difficult, takes a lot more time for a hacker to break into a passphrase, such as, some here on the right, the dogs play on Saturday. Like, that's kind of weird, right? The dogs play on Saturday. Brian, that's a sentence. It's a phrase. And it's much more difficult to crack that than a simple password. There's a couple other ones there. Be a rainbow in someone's cloud. I mean, that's inspirational. Some of you need to hear that right now. And so those are just some ideas. That's provided by Virginia Tech. Here's the other one. I'm guessing, since I'm talking to adults, at least somebody here has had their accounts hacked into. I can't count the many times that someone on Facebook goes, hey, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. That was somebody else who hacked in my account and tried to sell you, I don't know, magical beans. So two-factor authentication most social media accounts, I'm talking pretty much all social media accounts, your email, your bank, all the big ones, your credit cards, they have two-factor authentication. What does that mean? That means if someone tries to log in with your account, it's going to send you a text message. And it'll say, hey, Brian, looks like you're trying to log in your account. Here's your code to get in. Well, the thief doesn't have your phone, I'm hoping. Okay, that's a whole nother problem, that the thief has your phone. But you put your code in, and it allows you to actually then access your account. It's a great safety measure. Some people don't like it because it's an extra step, but let me tell you, I will take the extra step every day because I've been hacked in the past, and this is where it's at. So two-factor authentication, highly advised you turn this on. I know a lot of schools I work with, some of the school systems have actually just pretty much mandated it. Say, school accounts, we're talking about student data. We need two-factor authentication on our information. All right, let's talk about gaming. I got another story for you. We're doing great on time. Got about 15 minutes or so. Thank you so much for staying with me online. This is kind of late at night for some of you. Some of you are working multiple jobs to provide for your family. In this year, these are tough times. You may have people sick at your house. I don't take this lightly that you're spending time with me. And I appreciate you so much. If you do have questions after today's session, I will try. I will. Forget try. Do or do not. There is no try. I will eventually, it'll probably take me a few days to get to all the questions. I will reply back to your questions in the comment section. Let's talk about gaming. Had some people mentioning gaming. I am going to do some live. I'm going to get to my screen here in a second, show you some of the safety features. But gaming has changed tremendously. The gaming, perhaps in your day as a parent compared to my day, or excuse me, as your student's day, the big difference is connectivity. Students are allowed to play others online. And at first, as someone who's kind of old school, I'm like, I don't get it. I'm a busy person, like playing other people online. I just never just did much for me until recently. So Brian became a gamer just recently. So the game Fortnite, that's a pretty popular game. So we have kids as young as like elementary school playing that game. And I'm not getting into is Fortnite a bad game to play? Okay, we're talking about keeping kids safe if they are playing Fortnite. Let's just say it that way. But I have family stationed in Hawaii in the Air Force. And because of COVID, we haven't been really able to see them this past year. They've been stationed there for 2 or 3 years. I was like, man, I miss my family in Hawaii. So for Christmas, an early Christmas gift, I sent them a pair of headphones, gaming headphones. And I was actually able to game together with my nieces, my nephews, my brother-in-law, and my sister-in-law as well. And that was special. That was a fun way to connect. So as we talk about gaming, we talk about keeping kids safe. There's serious factors there we have to talk about. But gaming also does give some ability to be social. And I think we have to acknowledge that with the right protections and the right involvement, that gaming is okay. Of course, as long as our grades are up, right? Those grades better be good before you start jumping on the games. My parents, you know what I'm talking about, right? All right, so here's actually a picture. That's me on the right with my family, and then my family in Hawaii playing Fortnite. It was fun. And I'm terrible, by the way. I'm terrible at Fortnite. So let me look at some gaming settings. So there are some settings, and let me tell you, they're hard to get to. I'm going to leave a link in Facebook with some of these links, how to get to all these settings and apps and all that stuff. I'm going to give you the direct links to them because this one I had to go deep to find. So I want you to look at my bald head while I'm doing this. 1 second. So right here, I'm just talking about Xbox because that's the one I'm familiar with. But I know the same works for PlayStation too. So as a parent, you have an account. So by the way, you have to make an account to do this stuff. And that's like a hassle. Again, I hate it because I know you're busy. Maybe you don't like the game. But if you are on board, if you're watching me right now, that means you're sold out. You want to help. You want to do this. So thank you so much. You got to make an account. And then your child is an account underneath your account. So in Xbox, I have an account on the right, the child has an account on the left. And then you choose the child, and you can change different settings, such as privacy. By the way, I have a large head. I may be kind of blocking some of this here. Are you allowing your child to see other people's Xbox Live profiles? Can they use video for communications? Can you communicate outside of Xbox Live with voice and text? And so maybe set to friends, maybe not just everyone. Everyone sounds kind of scary. Have y'all met everyone? I've met everyone a couple times, and I'm not okay with everyone. Others can see your Xbox profile details, just your friends. Y'all see what I'm saying here? You got to get in here. You got to check the settings. Others can see if you're online. I don't really want the whole world to know if I'm online or my child's online. Here's the other setting. So there's one just specific to Xbox One. You can play with people outside of Xbox Live. My family, what does that mean? They play on a PlayStation. So I want to be able to play with them. I have to have that on to make that happen. Do you want your child to broadcast their games? That's not really what we're into right now. But maybe they want to create. They want to have like a live Twitch account or something. And I think that stuff's kind of fun, but you got to be involved. You got to know how all that stuff works. Others can share your content to social networks. I mean, that sounds awful. Other people can share your child's content to social networks. Most parents don't even know this stuff is in here. You can join multiplayer games. I'm telling you, and I'm not beating up anybody. Fortunately, this is my job. Your job is something else, I guarantee. And so I'm glad you're here with me. You get to take the stuff I've been working on and then go apply it for your child. All right, so Xbox has settings, but PlayStation has these as well. If you're like, well, Brian, I don't have a laptop, these work well on the phone too. All right, B, you got any more questions? No more questions. Okay, I need at least one or two more good questions before we close this thing out. We've got about 10 minutes here. I'm going to put back up my slideshow. And I still have some more things to give away. I think I have 6 more gift cards to give away. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to do that here at the end. But I'm going to close out with just some words of wisdom for parents. Communication.
What about Nintendo Switch?
We just got a question. I'll get that to you in a second. But communication is the biggest one here. And wherever you are with your child, I think we can always do a little bit better communicating with our children about what's relevant to them. Why do you need a phone? How is this phone going to make your life better? Can we just is that the right question? How will this phone make your life better? I don't know if it does automatically. There needs to be a good reason. Why do they have the phone? Does the parent have the time to manage the phone? Communication about bullying. We have students right now in Georgia, Northeast Georgia, all across the world who are very lonely. And perhaps they're online, they're talking to people they shouldn't be. You have a great responsibility as a parent to be communicating with your child. And I'm going to give you a goal here. And this is difficult because it's hard not to go with the flow of your social network, in your community, in your schools. It's difficult to tell your child no when every other child has a phone, but you don't see the value in it. It doesn't make your child's life better, really. I think we, as parents, have to make decisions for us and our families and our children. Everybody's different. Maybe your child needs a phone and you have it all in the right settings. That's great. Maybe your child, they already do many things. A phone's not going to make their life any better. They have other ways to communicate with their friends. Maybe even face-to-face. That's kind of tough right now with COVID, but you understand. Being the weird parent Not many parents are signing up for that. But I'm telling you right now, if you are willing to do that, I think that's a chance worth taking. Next, and this one stings too. Y'all ready? Christmas is coming around the corner. And some of you were told no as a child, and it hurt. No, you can't have this. No, you can't do this. Maybe your parents didn't have the financial means, the money to make it happen. And now you're like, I want to provide these things for my child. But if it's not the right time, it's not the right time. And we have to be able to say that word no. And it stings a little bit. You might see tears. They may throw things. You may have to run for cover. You may get talked about in social circles, in your community. Did you hear about Brian? Did you hear what he did? He did that thing. It's going to sting a little bit. And I'll leave you with this one right here. I like to think of children as a ever-growing project. And I believe that as they get older, and we have some parents of young ones here in the room. When they're young, we hold them close. And I've given this illustration before. We hold them super close. They learn how to walk. Toddlers, kind of let them roam around a little bit. We put the special things on the door handles with the chemicals, right? And then maybe they get to a certain age, they start driving. We make sure they have a safe car, airbags. We give them gas money. We make sure they're taken care of. And so as parents, we kind of help them grow in this area. They have to earn our trust. We kind of set them free before they leave us. But that's the physical world. And some of us have forgotten about the digital world, which is a real thing. And I plead with you. I'm telling you, we have to do, me, you, everybody here, we have to do a better job of communicating and helping our students succeed in their digital lives. They need us. They can't do it without us. The schools, they try to do a wonderful job with it. I love my schools. It's not really their job to do it. It is our job to help our children succeed in life. And that digital part is crucial. They're going to need it to do well in jobs in the future, in college, tech school, in the armed forces, whatever their future holds, technology is going to be a part of that, I promise you. So we're going to close out with some questions, and we're going to talk about some giveaways here in a second. But B, did you say we had one more? We have 2 questions. We've got the Post-it notes coming. You guys having a good time? Make sure in the chat box, y'all do this for me. As I get these questions, I want you to tell me one thing from today's presentation that sticks out the most. And you can't say, Brian, your pink shirt. You got to say something about the content. So put something in the chat that meant the most to you, that sticks out, that you can apply. And then I'm going to read these questions. So everybody put that in. We'll read the questions. We're going to talk about some giveaways. Y'all having a good time tonight? Come on, I'm having a good time. East Coast, 9:30. I am curious. See my Alaska people? I had some people reach out to me. You guys get on. Make sure you comment there. Let me know you made it. All right. While people are putting their comments in there, and please, hey, thank the crew for making this happen. I didn't do this alone. I want to thank Chris, B, and our translator, Miss Oakes. So here's the questions as you guys are getting the information in the chat box. What about Nintendo Switch? Hey, we could have a whole session on gaming. You're like, well, Brian, you got to do this again. Just talk about gaming for an hour. I'd love to just listen to you talk about gaming. Maybe that's something we could do. But I didn't have a chance to talk about Nintendo Switch. But I know that Nintendo, out of all the gaming consoles, is the most family-friendly I assume they have some settings for parents. I would go to YouTube. YouTube is my favorite search engine now. It truly is. It's not even Google anymore. Go to YouTube and search, how do I manage my students or my child's Nintendo Switch? And you guys are stumping the chump. You guys are asking hard questions. So good job. You got me on that one. Here's one right here. Do you know anything about Oculus Quest 2? It's ran by Facebook. You have got me again. I know about Oculus. That is a virtual reality headset. Virtual reality is getting more and more popular. I know PlayStation has virtual reality headsets as well. But I'm guessing they have some parental settings, but probably not as much as the other three consoles. And so, yeah, so I'm learning every day, just like you, with me today. So this is how this is going. We got one more? We got two more. So 2 more, and then everybody else just kind of put them in the comments. I know some people want to get to bed and kind of find out how they're going to give away some more prizes. Is there a way to see stuff that disappears? I don't know. I mean, I have a pretty techie guy in here. You could probably tell me later if there's a way to do that. But some people, when they tweet, they're on social media, they regret their decisions, they delete their post. But you have seen this where people have screenshotted it and then they put it in news networks and you see it. I don't know of a way to bring back an image from the dead. But like I told you before, most images, if they're online, there's a good chance they're somewhere else. If they have disappeared, they're somewhere on a server. I'm just, from what I know in my work with instructional technology. Is it possible to keep our kids safe on Discord? What is Discord? Anybody know it?
It's like a back channel at message boards, groups.
Okay. So my friend Chris here, he said, Brian, Discord is a back channel. Some of you don't know what that term means. It's kind of like chat rooms. And from what I'm just going to throw this out there, from what I know about chat rooms, it's a good place to meet weird people, creepy people. I told weird is good, remember? But not everybody. Okay, so you'd have to do some more research on Discord. I'm going to look it up too, see if I can find out more information about that. All right, so we do have a survey. So if you're watching this on a phone, you probably won't be able to do the QR code, but we have 6 more gift cards I want to give away. They're $25 a piece. And what we do here in Northeast Georgia, the people who allow me to put this on, our school systems, Pioneer Yarixa, they would like to know who's able to watch this, who's benefiting from this. They get to document this and helps them with some of their funding. And if you would do the survey, we would greatly appreciate it. It would probably take you less than 2 minutes. This will be recorded. Like, well, Brian, I can't get to it right now. If you can get to it now, it's probably helpful because you will forget because life goes on and you have many things to do tomorrow, I'm sure. But what I'll be doing is I will be taking all the people who have done the survey. I'll probably wait a couple days because this will go out recorded. And then I will do a randomized, like Wheel of Fortune type thing, and then it'll pick those 6 people to get those gift cards. I'll get those mailed out to you. And those compliments of our friends at Niswonger. Appreciate you guys for supporting our event. So everybody, it is that time of the night where I get to say goodbye and you get to go night-night and go to sleep probably. So I want to say thank you so much for being here again. Many schools made this event happen, advertised it. I want to thank Yarixa for translating. She did a wonderful job. I could kind of hear her in the background. B for moderating her comments. And of course, Chris Fuller here just for making all the geeky magic happen. Lots of technology here. And y'all have an amazing, wonderful night.